If you need unlimited domination, clutch time, or anything else online or offline grinding, make sure you hit up RoseNBA on Twitter for quick, safe, and reliable grinding services. Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be ranking the top 10 best budget cards in NBA 2K23 MyTEAM. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 8,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, and I would really appreciate your support if you haven't already, if you do subscribe. Without further ado, let's hop right into it, and let's start off with number 10. And the thing to keep in mind with these budget cards is everybody on this list is 50 KMT or less except for one, and the reason that one guy is on the list is because he is so much better than everybody else in his price range for his position, and he is still quite affordable, pretty close to 50k, that I think he deserves his spot on the list regardless. But Jaden Ivey, first card on this list, 92 speed and excel, 77 shot 3, which is not horrible, got a few shooting badges as well, 85 driving dunk, really solid perimeter defender, although not elite. He will struggle on the interior, but at least he is 6'4" at the point guard position, which is really nice size, so that's valuable to have. Evo cards, I will say, although there are several of them on this list, the fact that they can't get badges is annoying, because that means Ivey doesn't have badges like Bully, Limitless Range, Handles for Days, Clamps, Glove, and Interceptor, which are some really key badges to have, and he doesn't have those, which is kind of annoying. But he does have a solid enough release, MJ dribble style, Kobe escape, Dame behind the back, so some really good sigs there. And overall, I do think he is a pretty solid card at the point guard position. One of the few good budget point guards we have in my team. At number 9, we got Danny Green, a guy who you're still going to see a lot of, I think, and a great card, especially for limited, but a really good card all the way around. 82 speed and excel isn't insane, but he's got a 90 shot 3, 70 driving dunk, and elite all around defense. Even on the interior, he's capable as well. Knockdown shooter with bronze limitless range, really good defensive badges as well. He doesn't do much for you outside of shoot the ball and play defense, but at least he does have decent sigs as well, with MJ dribble style and stuff behind the back, and a money release. Very solid release, and he's just a super solid all-around card at the shooting guard position. A 3-and-D guy. He's not going to give you a lot besides the 3-and-D, but he gives you those things at a really high level, and that deserves a top 9 spot in my opinion. At number 8, same type of card, Kawhi Leonard, the Amethyst. He's going to give you a very similar amount to what Danny Green's going to give you, except he's going to be at the small forward position instead of that shooting guard position. 6'7" with a 7'3" wingspan, an elite player build, elite defensive animations, and really solid defensive badges. Got all the perimeter badges that you need. His quick first step can even be upgraded. He's got bronze handles for days, some solid shooting badges, including gold guard up, silver catch and shoot, and claymore that can be upgraded. And overall, he's just a very solid card. Another guy with a solid 3-point rating, can dunk the ball decently, really good perimeter defender, not horrible on the interior, even though his block rating is pretty low, and he's got a money release. It's not as good as Kawhi's release has been in previous years, but it's still very solid and very smooth and easy to green. Does not have great movement, but he has incredible defensive animations, an elite perimeter defender, and a catch and shoot knockdown shooter who also has solid athleticism and even a little bit of playmaking as well. So overall, Kawhi is a pretty solid card in my team. At number 7, we're going with this Bruce Bowen. The reason that I have Bruce Bowen higher than Danny Green, even though they basically do the same thing in terms of being pure 3-and-D guys, very similar statistics on the offensive and defensive end of the court. He's a little faster, which I guess is nice. Shooting badges are pretty similar in addition to the defensive badges. The one thing that he does better than Danny Green is he has the normal fade and Danny Green doesn't. That's really the main separating thing about these two cards, because they both have good releases. They're both really good defenders. They're the same. I mean, Bruce Bowen's 1 inch taller, but they're basically the same size. I think Bowen having that normal leader is just enough to put him a tiny bit above Danny Green, because it gives him a little bit more versatility offensively. But overall, he is still an amazing card. These are all really good 3-and-D options here from 7 to 10, and that's where they slot in for me. At number 6, we got Paolo Banchero, one of a couple big men on this list, a guy who can play your center position or your power forward position pretty much equally effectively. He's got decent size at 6'10" with a good wingspan and a great player build. Fast twitch is a great badge. He's a capable shooter, good athlete, and an elite dunker. Defensive stats are mediocre in his defensive badges. He's got a few good ones on the interior, but not amazing defensive badges either. But what he does give you is an athletic center who's a really good dunker and a very capable shooter with good speed, a release that I am a big fan of, and even has good dribble sticks, even though right now with the way that his playmaking badges are, he's not really able to make use of them too well unless you're going up against a really slow center. But the fact that he's got that athleticism and a money release makes him a great stretch big, and the fact he can dunk at the level he can as well with his speed is super valuable and puts him in the top 6 for me. At number 5, we got Ben Mathurin. Ben Mathurin, one of the best releases in this game, period, regardless of position. I mean, he is an absolutely elite knockdown shooter with an exceptional release and good size at shooting guard at 6'7". Now, the defensive badges are mediocre. I mean, he's got a couple good ones, but he doesn't really have the key ones like Clamps, Glove, or Interceptor. Good, decent perimeter defensive stats, but not amazing. He's got pretty good speed, though. Really good shooter and a great dunker as well, which is super nice. Fast twitch, catch and shoot. And like I said, one of the fastest and easiest to gain releases in the game, in addition to gold quick first step. A very underrated card with an absolutely money release and decent enough movement as well. Honestly, I may be a little low on this Ben Mathurin card, actually putting him at 5. He doesn't play a lot of defense, but he's so good offensively that I think he is still an exceptional card. I am going to leave him at 5, but these top 5 guys are all really, really good. And number 4 is another great example of that. Another elite 3-and-D guy, especially defensively. AK is so money on the defensive end with exceptional all-around defensive stats. Hoff, Challenger, Clamps, and Menace. Comes with basically every defensive badge you could ask for. Can even get cooked for a step, and he's a really solid shooter as well with a few good shooting badges and a solid release. The release that he has is this Haywood Highsmith base, which is base 29 from previous years. That Drew Holiday, Glenn Robinson, Danny Granger release that we saw last year. And it's a very, very solid release. He is close to that 50K price point. Like, he's going to be about 50K. Not going to be one of the cheaper cards on this list, but I still do think he is budget enough to come in pretty high on this list, and is a really, really good card at the small forward position especially, but he's got the size to play power forward as well, which is super nice. At number 3, we got Dyson Daniels, another guy. You're going to see all these top 5 guys ran even in a competitive setting and very, very consistently. And Dyson, the main reason that he is so good is because he's 6'6" and he plays D. Really, really good defensive badges, especially on the perimeter. Playmaking badges are pretty good as well, although no quick first step and no clamp breaker is annoying, and his shooting badges are not good. That being said, he has an amazing release, which makes him able to knock down shots even with only a 69 3-pointer. With the way shooting is this year, when he's wide open, he's going to green basically every single time, even with the low 3-point rating. Decent dunker, decent speed, but especially for a 6'6" guy, the speed is not bad, and he's a really, really good defender, like I said. What this card gives you is defensive versatility. He's not going to get two-manned defensively, which is so nice and so valuable to have that size to compete against guys who are at the shooting guard and small forward position defensively if he's not your primary on-ball defender. And he's a good enough defender where he can be your primary on-ball defender as well if you want to. Like I said, release is really good. Dyson Daniels release on quick. He has the normal leaner, which is the best leaner in the game, and solid all-around dribble sigs as well. This card had playmaking badges and was able to get a few shooting badges. Like, if he had quick first step and could get a couple shooting badges, he would be right there with the best point guards in the game. But he is elite enough defensively. You're still going to see this card run even at a competitive level at times, and is a really, really good card in my team. At number 2, Chet Holmgren is the guy we're slotting in here. This Chet card has one significant flaw, but he is a great card. At 7 foot with a 7'6" wingspan, he's got elite size for power forward and even really good size for the center position. He's got decent speed, knockdown shooter, good dunker, and a good all-around defender. The problem is right here, this 45 strength. He gets thrown around in the post sometimes because of that low strength rating. But Hoff catch and shoot, gold guard up, silver claymore, Hoff chase down artist, gold pogo stick, a few good defensive badges on silver and bronze, as well as the ability to dunk pretty well. A super glitchy, super long, and super big player build, and a money release makes him a knockdown pick and pop guy, especially with the Hoff catch and shoot as well. And his length is going to help him get fluke stops defensively as well as a lot of rebounds, despite having that low strength rating. Really, the rest of his ratings are really, really good. This Chet card I think is pretty underrated because people expect him to be like a demigod, and I don't think the stats and badges quite impressed everybody to the level that they expected. But this Chet card is a dog. I promise y'all. Try him out. You're not going to regret it. And then at number 1, we have the most expensive card in this list. It's Latrell Sprewell. He is closer to the 65K price point versus all the other guys in this list, but he is the only card on this list that I truly do believe is a top 3 player at his position in my team. Latrell is elite. He's 6'5" with a 6'8" wingspan, which is not exceptional size for a shooting guard, although not particularly small, but he's got incredible speed, really good shooter, a great dunker, and an elite all-around defender, even on the interior. Badges are also phenomenal. Some really good all-around defensive badges. He's got great playmaking badges, can get his quick first step upgraded to gold. Shooting badges are amazing. He can get claymore and guard up as well, so the limitless range is kind of the only badge he is missing. Has gold bully, gold limitless takeoff, gold masher, gold posterizer. He is so versatile in terms of his stats and badges, and so good all the way around, with a really good release as well, and capable dribble style. With the MJ dribble style, he moves pretty solidly. He is just such a good card all the way around in my team. A guy I'm legitimately running on my God squad right now, and considering you can get him for about 60,000 MT, I just think that is such a steal, and he is so good for his value that even though he is a higher price point just by a little bit than the rest of these other guys in this list, I feel like I had to throw him in here because he is that good in NBA 2K23 My Team. So hopefully y'all did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.